Yo, what up? Mark back in here. I'm sorry for a little bit of a slow content release. I kind of threw my finger a little bit. I should have had my brace on, but I took it off. But anyway, we jumping into the content. We got a lot of stuff to go over with the backgrounds of Tramari and Kidu. I'm not really moved by the Enkidu stuff, but we're going to go through it anyway. Hit that sub button. Let's jump right into it with the past of Enkidu and Tramari. Enkidu seems to be just chilling behind Tramari as he describes like how Tramari is and how he wants to just be beside him and help him and be the one to talk to him. A little bit of an obsession thing, not gonna lie. Enkidu seems to have hunted down some animals that Tram are going to use for later on what we know is experiments. Before that, it's a secret, and Tram seems to trust Enkidu with this information, so he takes him to the laboratory, which we've already seen a few times now. And Tram finally reveals like what his whole goal is, why he's doing what he's doing. For a while now, we assume maybe it was some Sahara related stuff, that he was just doing experiments to create like stronger beings, but it's actually a little bit deeper. But I'm not gonna lie to y'all right now, I don't care for this. It's not really good enough for me for the reason why Tramari is so deviant and so evil with some of his acts. Like, I get it, he's trying to achieve his dream, and maybe, you know, you can make the argument that you'll do whatever you need to do to achieve your dream, but bro has walked down a very divisive path, very controversial path. But Tram has a goal that I think is impossible, okay? And I'm gonna break it down for those who don't seem to, get it, because I know a lot of people were confused about what he was saying. So one, he's trying to do something that's impossible, okay? He's trying to create a creature that is an all-encompassing creature, a chimera, okay, is as he describes it. And we've seen chimeras in many different anime and how they're portrayed, but Tramari is trying to create like the perfect one, okay? The reason he seems to be trying to do this is to eliminate differences, okay? A being that encompasses like all animals, all beasts, all creatures, and humans. That means that there would be no division, no separate thought, and he wants to bring it under his control, meaning that it wouldn't be subject to different kinds of circumstances, which would force a type of equality within the tower. Now, it sounds really, really controlling when you put it that way. Like, Tram sounds like he wants to be a god, though he describes it as he wants to be free in a way, that he wants things to go back the way they used to be, which I'm not sure what that means. Now, my little bit of interpretation of that part of it means to me, like, for the GOG kind of extended, his power to everyone, the choice that V made, maybe that's the time that Tramari's talking about, before, like, beings and everybody got a bit of a change due to V's decision. So, if that's what he's talking about, then I can kind of understand, even though we haven't really gotten a background on what the tower was like during that time. But other than that, I don't really understand what he means when he says that. So that's my best guess. Now, the other part of this all creature is that creature would not really judge. It would be kind of be all encompassing. It would not be tainted by things of the tower, climbing, death, division, racism, sexism, anything. It would not be tainted. It would be a being that understands and has everything in it, right? That's why he refers to variables as, variables, or i.e. circumstances that he can't control. So I don't like the idea of this at all. It sounds really, first of all, impossible, because things are going to be influenced, no matter what you do. Now, if he controls it, then maybe he can like lock off its thoughts or its ability to learn at times. But it's kind of like the same as Enkidu. Like, Enkidu was kind of that being, right? Like, I think it's kind of crazy that like he's trying to create something that kind of already exists. Enkidu learned and gathered information by following Tramari. Like, Enkidu is kind of like a being that can become everything, even though it's not necessarily created or directly controlled, though we think that he was controlled when Aunt Weeze died. But I think it's kind of crazy that you kind of have that already and you don't kind of see it that way. But I guess it's Enkidu's independent thought that's a problem. But regardless of the fact, I think Tram is trying to do something that's impossible, but he's dedicated to it. And I guess there's a sense of loneliness within him. That is what Enkidu's talking about, that he's trying to help Traumari achieve his dream. Now Enkidu goes to visit Amwise, who wants to basically drop off a flower to Traumari, and they still are together at this point, but aren't like close. Like they kind of live in the same house but don't really see each other, because Traumari is obsessed with whatever he's doing, which Amwise is not aware of. Now Enkidu's under the impression that like they're broken up, they're not going to get back together, and Amwise is like, no, like I still care about him a lot, like a lot. And at this point, like you can tell that Traumari's idea of marrying Amwise was not far-fetched. It was not something that like, it was not an incorrect move on his part. Because we of course we go to see that Enkidu shows her the laboratory, but I always thought that like Traumari was kind of delusional. Like maybe she doesn't love you like that, bro. Like she wants to go back to her friends that badly. But it's not that simple. It really is not. And I don't know if that's really good writing. It's kind of manipulating the reader in a way. But things aren't as simple as we originally thought they were, right? So Amwise goes to the laboratory and she freaks out. She freaks out because Enkidu kind of breaks it down, and like Traumari seems like he's lonely and he's trying to do this, and I'm pretty sure that Amwise understands that more than Enkidu does because she's been with him. So she's freaking out, like why she says, why the hell? And I think she's saying that because if he's lonely, what am I? Like why am I here? Like I'm here for you. I'm your woman. Like we decided we were gonna be together. Like why are you doing this? Like I think that's her line of thought. And I get it, because like you would feel useless too if like somebody's trying to create something that replaces his loneliness. But like you have Enkidu and you have your woman. Like technically speaking, Traumari should have everything he needs. So he's kind of searching for something that sounds kind of impossible if you ask me. But regardless of the fact, this is what Baam was talking about last chapter when he said that he knows Enkidu's secret and how Enkidu kind of manipulated things. So before I go back down into the chapter, this kind of makes me think about whether or not Traumari actually murdered Amwise. Now, we saw that Gustang got to talk to Enkidu, and Enkidu talked to Gustang that like I was framed and I didn't actually murder her, and that Traumari actually controlled and killed him. Honestly, the way this story has changed, like in this chapter, is that true? Like, because look at it this way, Traumari did bring up his truth frog to get the truth from Enkidu. Now, I know what people will say is that, well, Enkidu he did murder her, and maybe he had the intent to, and that he was being controlled, so in the technical aspect, he did it. But, like, you get where I'm going, right? Like, did he really do it? Because the way the story kind of changes here, I don't know. Because even Enkidu's, like, he says he feels the rage, like, himself. Like, the fact that Amwise wanted to leave and she had the will to leave is not something that he could do. And it pissed him off. So that rage doesn't necessarily need to be Traumari's rage, because I know people were saying that when Enkidu felt like this in this rage that he didn't understand, we thought it was Traum's rage from being controlling him. But I don't think so. I'm starting to think that like high key Enkidu manipulated the fuck out of Gustang. Okay, what if that true frog was correct? What if Enkidu said those last couple words to Gustang to throw him off? Because maybe Gustang was looking at the way shit. We know Gustang. Gustang's gonna try to discover the truth so much that maybe Gustang thought Traumari was at fault. And don't get me wrong, Traumari hasn't acted like an innocent man, but I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence now with this chapter. Like maybe Enkidu did really murder Amwise. Maybe Traumari was like stuck in shock at the moment. I don't know. We'll get some clarity going forward with this, but with the rest of the chapter, we get Baam basically trying to hold Enkidu accountable for not being a real friend to Traumaray. He basically tried to manipulate Traumaray and everybody around him so that he can keep Traumaray for himself, and he was kind of belittling him that he wasn't a real friend. Now, I understand the community's outrage here, because Baam is being kind of like this is super moral judge, and I hate it too. Like, okay, Baam, you took Traumaray's side. Traumaray is not an innocent man. He has done some inconceivable shit to achieve this dream. Okay? Stealing souls, murdering people, murked this girl, put her body in the dragon. Like, this man is not no saint. And for you to, first of all, join his family, call yourself a Baam, it's so triggering that he did that. But for you to hound Enkidu this way, when Traumaray is not an innocent man, and now granted, he hasn't had a space to talk about Traumaray and what he's done, but he has all the memories. He knows what he's done. So I'm just a little confused on how Baam can even, like, I get it, Enkidu is not innocent either, but you're like really like on Enkidu. Like I see, like I think we understand a little bit better why Enkidu was so pissed off the previous chapter. Like, Baam, why are you on my dick? Like, pause, why are you on my dick? Like, bro, like huh? Like, I'm the guy? Like, I get it. I truly get it. So the chapter, you know, we can fast forward a little bit. Enkidu, you know, let a part of him distance off, which is Belier. Gururu go chase after Rachel and them to get the chess piece, and Khun's aware of that. Khun's back up. Khun hears everything, and he's gonna go deal with that. And mind you, Enkidu has pulled out some mystical power that seems to be hurting Baam pretty badly. That's interesting. And I also think we're pretty much building up to a V release. I really think we do. We saw the hole within Baam's chest get shown again after getting that attack from Enkidu. I think we're building up to that. I think that Gustang and Traumaray will probably fight again, and that this V inside of Baam will probably release, and we'll probably like get something with that. Whether it's he deals with Enkidu for, like, I don't think Baam can deal with Enkidu, but I think we're building up for this power to release, and that something's going to happen with that. Because we've seen it too many times already, and you know, where we saw it years and years apart. So that's obviously something's coming with that. But yeah, chapter 6.5 out of 10. You guys let me know what you think about the history of you know, Enkidu, Baam's actions. I think Baam's a massive contradiction. I don't like where Baam is right now. He's done a lot of things this season that has like had me look at him sideways as a main character, like kind of with some like just some bullshit. But I think the Traumaray and Enkidu stuff is very interesting. I am on the fence about that, everything that we learned previously. I don't know about you guys, but you let me know what you think. Predictions for the next chapter. We probably we keep going with this. Baam's probably going to have to obviously ignite the thorns and probably get really serious with Enkidu because his power seems very threatening. Maybe we get to see a Belier Guru deal with the chess pieces and Khun show up. Maybe Rex revived, or we go back to Urek. I'm not sure. But things are heating up to another type of peak that we thought that the Gustang and Traumaray stuff was really peak, but we're going to the other side now where the plot's kind of moving forward. So yeah, 6.5 out of 10, guys. Stream will be Friday. T-Bait reviews are coming back. There was a double release this past week, and there's going to be a release tomorrow, which should be Thursday. So after tomorrow's release, I'll do a 3-chapter review for that. So for my T-Bait watchers, but other than that, I'll see you guys on Friday. Deuce.